yesterday. How many people claimed that I did? Anybody made it me? Okay. I had a student yesterday because y'all saw this, and they used this piece of evidence, which I found interesting. They said it was me. You want to guess one? What color pen was up there? Red. And their evidence was the red pen, and when they interpreted, they said, what do you think they said? She always writes in red, and she puts red all over everything. So it had to be her that was sitting at that table when it happened, because the red pen was there. So they tried to interpret that one little piece of evidence to prove that it had to be me. How many people made it Chloe Silver's yesterday? Because her name was on the paper, right? So it had to be her that was sitting there. So you're trying to reason out and make sense out of it. Now,
You know what I said?
what?
I said it because of you.
Oh, because I hate homework. I hate grading all that writing, so that's why I do. Okay. So those papers from yesterday, we do go through, we grade. I looked to see that you had a claim, evidence, interpretation, and you have those prepositional phrases. You'll get them back in the beginning of next week. But it was looking for basics. Today, we actually take it to the level that you're going to have on testing at the end of the year. That I can create that claim off of something I read. We're going to use Flowers for Algernon. That I can provide some evidence, and then I interpret it back to the reader. Now, I tell you constantly, when you write this paper, are you writing it for me? Who are you writing it for? Because she didn't read the story, and you want to make sure she understands every detail you're talking about. So when you start to write this paragraph that we're going to work on, does she know who Charlie is? Do you need to give her some background on Charlie? Immediately. You need to make sure she knows some of that information. Okay, yesterday we looked at a couple of videos. So you've been exposed to what we're going to talk about here. I told you we have an example today. There are 3 ingredients in a paragraph or an essay for claim, evidence, interpretation. If you want to grab your interactive notebook and look at it as we're going through because you know you're going to use that, and Hunter, you are welcome now to go catch up on that because we know that you cannot do this writing assignment from not being here. So we're going to have you working on that. And I may borrow my notebook or somebody else's off and on, but Hunter's using mine to get this ready. So if we're looking at this CEI, let's remember there are 3 things we have to do. Yesterday you made a claim, you told me you did it, you used evidence off the table, and then you interpreted it. Today we're going to use an actual text to work with something. I'm going to start with the video that we use so that you can see how you would use videos as well. Because in the future, there may be videos on that test. Remember, I've got to figure out how to do that. We're going to do a paragraph this time, and we have talked about this already. By the time you write at the end of the year on that test, it has to be in this format. They're going to expect multiple paragraphs. When you complete it, you need to have these 3 things. So we're going to go through them. First, and you can open your claim card if you're looking at it. It's the same thing. My claim that states my position that I have chosen to write about. We know what improved means. What about deteriorated? It went down, it was destroyed. Any other words y'all can think of? Messed it up. Okay. Take your whiteboard, and I want you to put a line down the middle. I don't care which way it is. So it doesn't matter if you do it long ways or if you do it the short way. I want you to put it in half. And Josh had to think outside the box here. He made his half and half still. Okay. However you half your board, I want you to put improved on one side and deteriorated on the other side. And when you say I can't spell it, look at that paper. It's right there in front of you. Languages was an improvement. Communication. And what did you just say, Dominic? Being a smart aleck? You all agree?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So not just communicating with people, but he gets to the point that he can actually go back at them and give them witty little things that he can say. I'll shout it out, but we have a pretty good list to start with. What else did he do that improved himself? Jot it down on yours, because that board is for you, that's in front of you. See what else you can come up with. Forgetfulness showed up to him.
He was having trouble. He was feeble. He couldn't walk.
Where did you learn that word from, man? Where did you see when you look at this list, I'm gonna borrow Morgan's for a minute. And I'm telling you, you should put other things you're thinking of. If I was looking at this as free writing, are you pretty even on each side? Or do you have one side that's bigger than the other?
One side bigger than the other.
Okay, Dominic said one side's bigger than the other for him. Some of you are pretty even. If you're even, then can I pick either side to write on? Yeah, I have about the same amount. And y'all have a pretty good list here to go with that I can prove things. If you have one side bigger than the other, Dominic, can I use your one real quick? Dominic's naturally, the things that he wanted to write down and he was keeping from what we came together up here is bigger for the deterioration side. Which side should he write on?
The
Because the more evidence that I have, I'm going to be what? Successful. I have the information to write about. I'm not stuck in that writing process going, what do I put in here? What do I put in here? Okay, so you all have a pretty good list. That's not the end of the list. Go back to this piece of paper. What you just did is that free writing worksheet of what we were trying to come up with. What happened? What are the things that take place on each side? So instead of having it here right now, y'all came up with it on these so that we can erase it, we can manipulate it, you can look at it. Once y'all put it on here, y'all feel like it's done. On the erase boards, you can move back and forth. On this side, that one. And then all you need is that side. You don't need your information you have. So, whichever side you want, which I can detail something up here. Is that something you're pretty? Alright, right now we are gonna forget about number one, because when did I tell you we write that sentence?
later.
Later, once I know what's going in my paragraph. Now, you picked, if you did improved and you only took what we wrote over here, how many pieces of evidence do you actually have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I had subcategories I could talk about within those. But I definitely had at least 5 different pieces of evidence I could pull. I'm not going to pick one for this. Notice this. I'm going to make a claim. Look at block number 2. If I make a claim that Charlie improved because his spelling got better, I don't like that sentence. You guys should write like you're in 8th grade. Does that sound like an 8th grader writing? But I'm making it basic. That would be my piece of my claim. He gets better because his spelling improved. When I get to block 3 and it says evidence, what do I have to provide there?
A page number, like a quote or something.
Where he did what? Where he improved his spelling, and I actually show where it happened in the book. What's our job right now? Are we filling in all the blocks?
No.
No. I directed you on one actually right now. I want you to make a claim on number 2, and then I want you to find some evidence to back that up. Are we even working with interpretation yet? Forget about it for a minute. Find what your claim is. How did he improve, or how did he go backwards real quick? One thing that you know happened in the story. And then find your piece of evidence to prove it. The story starts on page 33, but y'all know it can be anywhere in there. If you know that the answer you're looking for is in your notes that you took while we were reading it, grab them so you can find exactly which progress report to go to. If you don't know which 2 to pick in the end, or which one to pick even right now, what are the parts of the story that stick out in your mind? Because that's the ones that you're going to want to use and interpret. So find that piece as your evidence and then go backwards into making your claim that I need to pick this part because that stuck out to me. person that's gonna read my paper, that what I put down as evidence really proves that claim. Here's your moment where mom said no, and you have to do what? No. I hope not. Oh, miss, you just got a face behind you. You better watch out. When they say no, what do y'all naturally do as teenagers? You try to what? You try to persuade them. You try to reason it out and make them see your side. That's what you're doing here. You want to reason out that piece of evidence and convince Miss McDaniel that that piece of evidence really makes your claim true. Yes, I do need an iPhone, even though Miss Johnson says I don't need one. And I can give you every reason why, can't you? This is what you're doing here. You're giving me every reason why that piece of evidence proves what you're saying to me. As you finish up your first interpretation, where should you naturally move? The second claim. I'm still claiming the same sides. You don't jump sides. Remember we talked about this. That question will give you one side or the other. It didn't say I could pick both. So now if I'm on this side and I've picked writing already, I want to pick another way to prove it. I want to give them a second way that he improved. I don't want to talk about writing again. Give them something different to show them there's another way that he improved. So make a second claim. Take a second thing from your list. If you're on the deteriorated side, then I want to pick a second way that I actually show he went downhill. We have about 5 minutes. When you get your second claim, I want you to find your evidence. I want you to find that piece. Because do I need the book for interpretation? I need the book for my evidence, but I don't need it for my interpretation. And most of you, as I was walking around, I noticed that you already had your piece of evidence. Some of y'all are looking for it and trying to get there. Gosh, don't act that way. But make sure you have evidence before you walk out today. Because the interpretation can happen without that textbook in your hand. Evidence cannot. When you are finished with your textbook and you know you have your 2 pieces of evidence, close it, put it back under your desk so it's out your way. One last thing to do. On this piece of paper right now, notice I did that failure thing again. Where did I forget to put on this piece of paper? Name. Stop, write your name on it. Because y'all know I've been down to the 8th grade hall. If it gets dropped and has no name on it, it probably won't make it back to you. If it has your name on it, they do make it back to you. People pick it up, they throw it in a classroom, they try to find you. So put your name on this because you have a lot of hard work. This is Mary. I want everyone to pause and glance up here for a moment. This is Mary's paper. She may have made it a little further than you. Wow, okay. Here's what Mary accomplished today that I can see. She knows that she has the majority of her paragraph out of the way, right? We're still in free-writing process. But the more you do this, the more proficient you're going to become at it. So when she gets to the test, it will take her this long to get these ideas together. But if she does this, then when she goes to actually write that essay, will her essay happen? Will she have to stop and really think? She puts all the effort out here, and now she knows how to put it in sentence format. So if I'm looking at hers, I can tell you, does she easily have a well-developed paragraph? Yeah, if she would even have two, she might actually be able to split this into 2 different paragraphs. Agree? She could possibly turn it into an entire essay with what she's looking at. That's where we want to be. You remember that writing on the test last week where some of y'all were nervous? Will you be nervous about it next time? I know exactly how to go about this. I need to go in the book. I need to find this, find that. All right, last thing for our whiteboards. Grab your whiteboard. And I want you to write 3 letters down the side. 3 letters? I want you to write 3 letters down the side. What's the next one going to be? On that whiteboard, I want you to think quickly. And you're going to make it plain. Here's the question that I'm posing to you. It's a pretty easy one. Were you successful today?
Good.
Write it plain. Were you successful today? Provide a piece of evidence. What question do we answer when we provide evidence? How? Where's that piece of evidence? I need to give the how. What is it that came about that I can say, yes, I can do this? If you don't think you were successful, where's your piece of evidence? I couldn't come up with this. I couldn't do that. And you can take other stuff. And then interpret it for me real quick. That's the one you want to spend the most time on. Were you successful? Where's your piece of evidence that shows you were if you picked successful? Where's your piece of evidence that shows you weren't if you were not? When you're saying whether or not you were successful, look back at our goal today. Did you figure out how to create a claim? Did you figure out how to provide evidence? Did you figure out how to interpret it? Did I say it was perfect yet? No? Are you figuring it out? That's where we're at. We're trying to determine now. Here we go. How many people say that they were successful? Show hands. How many people say they were not? Sonny was on the edge a couple times. I know why he said it. Nikita, I want to hear why you were. Zandria, why did you not? What are you checking? What do you think was not successful about your day? What have I said about struggle on the first day we do something? It's what? It's all right. It's a learning process. But look, you just listed what you were struggling with, so what do you have to work on tomorrow? That. You know exactly where to redirect yourself. Nikita, do you want to share it? I'm not forcing. She couldn't come up with a why she wasn't, but she feels like she wasn't. No good plan. I say you were. You were throwing out words. Deal. Erase my board. Make sure you carefully put this piece of paper away because you will need it tomorrow in here. You will continue the process. By the time you leave tomorrow, you will have something to hand in to me. Once you have all your stuff packed up, leave my markers and my boards on the desk for the next class. You are welcome.